Hey 143 fam, I'm Antonia and thank you for being here. Are you ready for September? This is going to feel like a very different energy than we felt in August. I'm channeling for us collectively. Dreams will be realized. We're going to take a look and see what September has in store for each sign individually in just a minute. But first of all, I need to thank you guys so much. In August, I hit 10,000 subscribers. At the time of filming this, I'm almost at about 12,000, which is mind-blowing to me because this channel is not even a year old. So thank you guys so much for your support here. To celebrate 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway every single Friday on Instagram. We did this once in August. It went over really well. You guys get to ask me one free question, and I choose a handful of winners. A good amount of info comes through, even just for one question, so it's very much worth your while. But as always, I will still be giving away 2 free readings, 2 more extensive readings here on YouTube. If you would like to be considered for a free reading, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video. Let me know that you have subscribed. Let me know what you thought of the messages that came through, if you resonated with any of them. And I will notify winners from here forward on Instagram and on Twitter, both Urban Soul Guru, okay? Because some of you are missing notifications on YouTube, so I want to make sure winners know that they have won. So again, winners will be notified at the very end of the month, of each month, on Instagram and on Twitter. Now let's take a look. Let's check out this energy for September. Let's see what's in store. Hi Aquarius, this reading is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to take a look at your general overview first, then love. I will have timestamps down below. Aquarius, general overview, September 2019. Lots of honking in the background. Getting your attention, Aquarius. Aquarius, general overview, September 2019. You know, Aquarius, I'm channeling already. Scaling mountains with grace. Scaling mountains with grace. You may already be dealing with a few obstacles and a few challenges on your plate as you enter into September. This definitely feels earlier on in the month, but you're scaling obstacles, scaling mountains gracefully. This is beautiful energy because I'm not getting a whole lot of resistance. It's almost like whatever comes up, you're just game for it. You can handle it. You scale these mountains, you climb up, you're on the other side of it, and then it's done. So stay in the flow of that. It's really positive. I'm also feeling for some of you, is a child acting up, a conflict with a child. It feels like for some of you, you may have a child who's really struggling with the separation from their mother or father watching you move on. That's what it feels like, a child really struggling watching a parent move on from a relationship. But this also may apply to a child who is close to a partner, whether it was their mother or father, but to a partner of one of their parents. And now that that relationship has ended, their parents moving forward, this child feels like they may be holding a lot of emotions and heart chakra. So that's something you may want to keep an eye out for if you have children. But what I'm being shown is a child acting up or maybe acting out of sorts. That's how that's being shown to me. For those of you without children, also pay attention this month to inner child. You may have an inner child acting up, and if you're feeling a little out of sorts, it's time to go inward. It's time to meditate on it. What is that conflict? It does feel like one of the obstacles that you may face earlier on in the month is someone saying or doing something that's a little bit triggering for you. Don't get stuck in this. Scale mountains with grace so you can get through them and move on to the other side and keep it moving this month because you have a lot on your plate, okay? Let's get a little bit more clarity on this. Aquarius, general overview, September 2019. Aquarius, general overview. I'm also feeling a little bit of a block in throat chakra. Are any of you feeling like you're either not being heard or maybe you're not speaking up because you're afraid of somebody's reaction to what you might have to say? First card out as we're talking about this block and maybe throat chakra or communication is be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself if you're holding back. That's really what comes through the strongest with this card. Why are you holding back? Why do you feel like somebody's not hearing you out or hearing your side of a story? Don't dim your light, Aquarius, okay? Aquarius, it is your fate to shine very brightly. And you've seen that begin to manifest in quite an extraordinary way for many of you over the course of 2019. You need to keep that ball rolling, okay? Now is not the time to pull back. If you're feeling like because of exposure that you have, now there's a little bit more pressure on you, sit with that before you go out into the world, before you're sitting in front of your cameras, before you're interacting with people in meetings. Do a prayer of protection, okay? Call on spirit, call on your angels, call on divine, and also call on Mother Earth to ground you so that your energy is in this very protected but also connected, I want to say space, almost like holding a sacred space regardless of what environment you're in. That may be something that it's time to start practicing before you go out into the world. That's going to keep your energy protected, but you'll also be able to put your best foot forward, okay? So some of you, it feels like you're just feeling a lot of pressure. Maybe more eyes are on you than usual. People are paying attention to you, so you may not be speaking your whole truth. You have to get past that. Do it gracefully. It doesn't mean you have to be obnoxious and be shouting from the rooftops what it is you feel, but at the same time, stay authentic. That's what people love about you, Aquarius. People have a lot to learn from you. There's a reason why there are so many people paying attention to you now. There's a reason why your star is still on the rise, okay? There's a reason for that. That's not random. That's not good luck. It's because it's fated, okay? So be honest with yourself. If you're dealing with other people who may be having that conversation to dim a little bit of your personality, I'm definitely feeling you may have some people around you intimidated by how, I don't want to say outspoken, because I feel like when you do communicate, it's always going to be graceful, but just how big your personality can be at times. Are people judging that, Aquarius? Trust that that is not your truth. Your truth is that full personality, full of life, full of love. If somebody else has an issue with that, step back from them. Step out of those situations. It's almost none of your business that somebody else may be having an issue with a little part of who you are at your core, okay? Don't resist this message. Don't dim your shine. Those are people showing up, letting you know right off the bat that they don't belong in your life, okay? So Aquarius, continue to shine. Be out there in the world in all of your glory, shining and climbing and scaling mountains gracefully, okay? But core of this reading is see only love. I think for some of you, the message about a child coming into this has to do with your inner child. See only love speaks to situations that don't turn out the way you would have hoped, okay? So there's some disappointment here. It could be being disappointed in a person who couldn't support you, being disappointed in a meeting that didn't go that well. Please trust right now that there is some filtering out. What is meant to stay will stay. What is meant to come full circle will at this time. But also trust that for universe to bring certain prayers full circle, certain manifestations full circle, you have to make some space. So if people step out, if there are some endings, just go with the flow of that. See love in it. Recognize how each of those opportunities or people or I want to say experiences, recognize how you benefit from these experiences and these interactions, even the less favorable ones, because were you still able to hold space gracefully even if somebody else wasn't? This is a whole lot about your character. What did you learn from it? But infuse love. So again, going into meetings, going into new relationships, going into the world, even if it's just on a day-to-day basis, okay? Yes, it's about protecting energy, and it's connecting to spirit. It's connecting to Mother Earth so that you're able to stay grounded through it all. But it's also about manifesting love collectively, manifesting love for yourself, so that as you are manifesting, you're utilizing law of attraction. It's not so much about specific circumstances working out. It's about universe bringing me love. So for example, instead of saying universe, I need to make X amount of money. It's universe. I'm so grateful that I'm able to make enough money to pay off these bills, to start this business, to be out there in the world in ways that bring me joy, in ways that allow me to love my work and love what I do, that attract more love back to me in the process and send love out into the world in the process, okay? Those are the intentions you want out there. So on a larger scale, but also on the smaller scale moments when it's just one-on-one with people, try not to let anybody get you down. I really just think there are some people who've had a hard time handling all of who you are. And I feel like this came up maybe for Leo. It's either Leo or Virgo. So you may have some crossover there. It's just not truth that you need to take on. Okay, I actually think it was for Virgo. Other people may have some insecurities around you. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. So continue to be you. That's exactly what you need to do at this time. But again, we circle back to love. Manifesting love, seeing love in what you do, seeing love in circumstances and experiences that maybe didn't work out the way you would have hoped. There is something to learn. It's still worth your time to have gone through that, but also trust that this is what universe is bringing in now. If people step out, if something doesn't work, you've been protected. Universe will replace it with more love. So continue to vibe from this place so that you have the most successful month ahead, okay? Be honest with yourself. Clarify by play. This is where I'm getting that child energy, okay? Some of what may make you feel like an inner child is acting out is just really, really not being able to settle into work. Really feeling like you're working 24/7 and not being able to do much else. You want to have fun, and your inner child may act up a little bit so that you go out and have fun. Please give yourself space. Reward yourself with a little bit of time off. Reward yourself with some time to be social, to be out there in the world in a way that isn't stressful, that isn't work related. Going to social outings, but that are still based in work and networking, I think that you enjoy that, but it's still not the same experience as going and having fun and playing with friends, right? So make sure you give yourself the opportunity to do that, even if it's only once in a blue right now, because I think you guys have so much on your plate. It's not realistic to think that you're going to do that multiple days of the week, but even if it's just one day a week, make sure you're doing something fun for yourself. Okay, so see only love, again, center of the reading. Clarify by ocean. Clear and cleanse these heavy emotions, okay? If something doesn't work out for you, and it feels like you would be coming into the month dealing with that particular situation, I don't see this lingering into the second half of September. If something doesn't work out, it does feel like that first week or so of September, but for many of you, you already know what this is going into the month. Cleanse it, get back to love, okay? Seesaw baths, they're going to be big for you if you live by the ocean, or if you can go on a vacay by the ocean or a day trip by the ocean, get yourself there. It'll do such magical things for your energy and your life force energy, but I'm really feeling the necessity to connect on a more regular basis to Mother Earth. So you may just need to eat a little bit differently. Eating more fruits and more veggies. I'm seeing to make sure that you're adding spinach to smoothies, okay? So you have this grounded energy in addition to your fruits and your healthy sugars and stuff like that. For others of you, you just need to be outside more. You need to be meditating every day, having a meditation that allows you to ground into Mother Earth. That feels really important. And you will wind up having more success if you do that. So try to figure out what that means for you and how you can incorporate connecting to Mother Earth on more of a regular basis. Start that at the beginning of the month. I'm telling you, you'll be so happy if you get into some sort of routine, even if it's like a 5-minute meditation, okay? Or just a quick visualization of roots growing into Mother Earth. When I'm ungrounded, that's all I have to do. I picture roots grounding into Mother Earth. I speak to Mother Earth. I thank her for loving me. I thank her for nourishing me. I'm just so full of love and gratitude for Mother Earth. And it's literally like this energy just shoots up my body, okay? And once I feel that and I see that visual, I know I'm grounded. My energy drastically shifts and I'm good to go. So it really can be that simple for you. Love here. Cupid is being clarified by energy work. I really think you guys may have had some separations in love, or you may go through a separation in love the first half of the month, but please don't manifest that out of fear, okay? If you're going to go through a separation, it doesn't feel like it would be spontaneous and random. It feels like you would already be seeing that energy coming into the month, so it wouldn't catch you off guard. But regardless, it feels like you need to get some energy work done to heal the heart chakra from something, okay? It feels like somebody's disappointed, but this, again, really could be a child around you. This could be a child. This could also be a close family member, even if they're not a child, but maybe a sibling. So even if you guys are very grown, you may be seeing that inner child struggle with the sibling, even if they don't recognize that that's what's happening. You may be able to help them in this process. Finding a reading, you know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know you're supposed to be out there in the world. Do you see the fire in this? Do you see how this angel around the face, there's just this glowing light, okay? That's who you are. Rock your halos this month, Aquarius. Rock all your talents and your awesome personalities and your love. Anybody judging you at this time, they are just showing up and saying, hey, we need to cut ties. We don't belong in each other's life anymore. If it's really that serious, trust that and let it go. If it's like a one-off circumstance, communicate with them. Not aggressively, okay? Do it assertively, because you could just have a friend who's having a bad day and they ramble some BS. You don't have to cut those people out, but you know what I'm talking about. People who consistently make you feel like that. If that shows up for you, scale that mountain gracefully, but tell those kinds of people they have to go, okay? Bottom of the deck, wow, there's a lot of child energy here, okay? There's a lot of child energy in this, but also heart chakra. Work on your heart chakra. Do not suppress emotions this month. You may get stuck there if you suppress emotions. It will be better for you to take a moment earlier in the month to cry it out if you're feeling a little upset or a little emotional about someone or something. Journal about it. Release that energy creatively. Honestly, I'm seeing some of you just like ferociously dancing, and you may be doing it alone in your house, and it's totally okay. If your neighbors think you're insane, who cares? Get that energy up and out. Cry it out, dance it out, write it out, sing it out, run it out for some of you. But get that up and out of your system. Do not let this linger, okay? You have too much to do. There's so much love around this. There's so much light around you right now, Aquarius, okay? So don't get stuck if something triggers you or is already triggering you as you come into the month. But also pay attention to your children. Pay attention to nieces and nephews if you have close relationships. Pay attention to children around you too. If they're acting up or acting out, or a child just feels out of sorts, like they're going to bed early when normally they give you a hard time going to bed, or they're not eating as much, or they're not hanging out with their friends as much, something's going on, okay? They will be okay. This isn't a serious thing, but there are some emotional issues going on, something in the heart chakra that needs to come up and out. And I feel like as a parent helping a child through that, you will have a beautiful resolution, but it's going to strengthen your bond. It like reinforces something because it's so loving to help somebody through that kind of a process. Letting a child know that it is okay to cry it out, letting a child know that they can release energy through creativity. There's something to learn in that you may be teaching somebody close to you as well. Okay, Aquarius, we're going to take a look at love. So for some of you, for sure this is going to apply to romantic relationships. Aquarius, I do feel some separations here, okay? I'm sorry, I have this like little piece of fuzz that I like cannot get off. That's why I keep doing that. I'm sure that's super annoying. Okay, Aquarius, I'm definitely feeling some separations. I'm not seeing you being caught off guard. Okay, so if you're going into the month and you're feeling really great and really blessed in a relationship, that message isn't for you. But you may have gone through a separation over the last couple of months. It just feels like something's lingering. Okay, something's lingering. Something may be holding you back. If you've gone through a separation, if you go through a separation over the next couple of weeks, there will be energy cords that linger, even if you are not fully aware. It's very important to get energy work done. It's very important to be doing sea salt baths. You guys know I'm a shaman. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I specialize in energy healing. If you cannot do that for yourself, reach out to me, okay? It doesn't take a million sessions to get energy work done. For many people, you get an energy work session done, just one, okay? And you're good to go. But honestly, for so many of you, it's literally as simple as sea salt baths, okay? So grab a bag of sea salt, of real sea salt from the pharmacy. It's inexpensive. Soak in 2 cups of it. If you need to do it more than once, I would say up to 3 times. Don't do it more than 3 times, okay? Because you may over cleanse. Some of you may need more than 1 sea salt bath this month. Just get it done. You're going to feel so much better, okay? So Aquarius in love. Aquarius in love. September 2019. Aquarius in love. That fuzz is still there. Oh my goodness. But I don't want to interrupt your reading. So if I keep doing that, please excuse me. Okay, Aquarius in love. Okay. Aquarius in love. Ooh. Getting to know each other. If you have a child and you are moving on and there are somebody new, they may be having a really hard time with this. They may be having a very hard time that you're letting an old boyfriend, girlfriend, their parent, go. I just feel a lot of child energy around this. You may be moving on. You may have a child who's not all the way ready to move on. Please focus in on this energy. You may be missing it because it feels like a child would be suppressing those emotions and not just outwardly talking about them with you, okay? But you will see it manifest in their behavior. For others of you, you've gone through a separation. You've called in somebody new. There's beautiful conversations there. There's depth here. This, for so many of you, is somebody very special. However, there are energy cords still connected to an ex. Still connected to something in the past that's triggering. You may see this start to surface in terms of trust issues for some of you. That's not random, okay? And it really may not be because a new partner is doing something wrong. If you find yourself really having issues trusting them, and it's not necessarily that intuitive, it's like you know that this really could be something lingering from the past, spend some time, cut those energy cords, okay? Feels like for many of you, you're calling in somebody that is quite high vibing. I knew this was going to pop. Okay, all right. I think this is the biggest message for you guys, and this just keeps coming up. So we have children, of course, center of the reading, followed by new love. Children are having a hard time with this new partner. Children are having a hard time with you moving on. And if you don't, I'm sorry, this is driving me crazy. Okay. If it's not you moving on, this could be their other parent moving on, okay? And you may be seeing your ex move on in a relationship and you're okay with it. You might be completely done with that. It doesn't necessarily mean that your child is okay watching their parent be with somebody other than you, okay? So this could be you, this could be your ex, but it feels like a child in this situation is having a hard time. You may also, for this feels like a smaller percentage. If you're calling in partners that already have children, you being in the picture may be a little bit triggering. Now, that doesn't mean that you walk away from this person. This will resolve, but there has to be communication present, okay? New love for you guys. If it's your inner child, recognize that the new love may wind up being a little triggering occasionally, but I do feel like, especially for those of you dealing with some trust issues right now, it doesn't have to do with the new love. They feel good. So go inward, do some inner child work, do some cleansing, reach out and get some energy work, some deeper energy healing done if you need it, but clear that energy because it feels like there's a really beautiful person that has already arrived or somebody who is trying to come in. But again, you need to clear the space for them to come all the way in and for them to come in and to stay. Okay, wow. Getting to know somebody new after a major commitment, okay? For others of you in committed relationships, you guys have not split up. This is speaking to depth in your current relationship and current commitments. This is extraordinarily positive. Now, I do think you guys are still dealing with some children acting up or some inner child issues, okay? But it's not about needing to separate. I don't see married partners splitting up at all, or for those of you who've been in relationships for quite a long time now, you would already know if that was going to happen. And coming into September, that message does not apply to you, but you do need some more depth. You need to be communicating. It may be you needing to communicate to a partner that something is wrong, and it might not pertain to them. It feels like a family member could have triggered something. Seeing a family member for the first time in a while could have been very triggering. You have a partner here who's committed to you, who will help you through this, but also, Grace, you may be holding space for somebody else to heal. If you have a partner who's gone back home to see family and it's a challenging situation, or they may be dealing with exes that are really challenging, some issues with children that are impacting your relationship, get them to communicate with you. That's what this speaks to, okay? In committed relationships, someone needs to communicate something and they're not talking yet. You need to get your partner talking, or you need to get to talking to your partner, because you guys will heal something together. In committed relationships, it doesn't feel like you or the partner's the issue. It feels like somebody else triggers something. But again, it involves either inner child or your current children. The center of the reading is this. Children, clarify by reconciliation. Some of your kids really want their parents back together. They dream about it. They're trying to manifest it. They're praying for it. They may be communicating that to you, but you may not realize how much weight they still have on this actually happening. And for many of you, you know that it's just not of the highest good, okay? That is a conversation you may have to have. And again, scaling that mountain gracefully with so much compassion, but also having the courage to let your child know, look, that's not of the highest good for either of us. And it's not of the highest good for you to be exposed to a relationship that isn't healthy when we're together. So we're going to be healthy individually and maybe entertain other relationships now, and that's okay. Having those kinds of relationships, it feels like even if your kids are young, they will understand if you communicate with them. You will intuitively know the right words to say, but they need to hear some sort of communication around this reconciliation. If you are thinking of a reconciliation with the partner and you guys have children in the mix, keep them out of it altogether. You don't want your kids to get attached to this if you guys aren't all the way sure if you can see this through to completion and for the long term, okay? Keep your kids out of it, because then if they see that, they get excited that you guys are getting back together. If it doesn't work out, you'll be dealing with those emotional issues from a child, okay? I know this is getting a little heavy here, but I know you guys can handle this. I know you guys can handle this. And I think as Aquarius, you guys are probably picking up on a lot of this already on your own before heading into a new month ahead, okay? So we have new love. Wow. Those trust issues, right? It's not them. This is telling you to trust in the new love. If you've called in new love, you can trust them. If you're having trust issues, it really doesn't feel like they're deserving of that. It feels like they deserve your trust, Aquarius, okay? So do that inner child healing. For those of you who do reconcile with the partner at this time, it does feel like they're coming back trustworthy, and it does feel like this is a situation that you can bank on. However, you need more time. I don't see this coming through all the way in September. You may talk about a reconciliation. You may be spending time together. Try not to commit to that this month. It just feels like you need to take your time with it. You will be so grateful in the end that you did. There may be some old trust issues that come up. You guys have to work through that before you commit to getting back together. If you can, it will feel like a new love for you, okay? But I do feel like for the majority of you in committed relationships, there is no separation. There is no talk about separation, okay? It really has to do with inner child healing and some outward, external catalyst for some emotional issue coming back to the surface. But honor that. It's good, because if you can be triggered, then that means that there's still something within you that hasn't been all the way healed. Right now is the perfect time to heal it. And it does feel like if you're in a committed relationship, you have a partner who will really help you through that, or vice versa. Or if you guys are going through something together, just keep communicating. You guys get through it. Children will heal, okay? The kids that are struggling with parents being separated, that will heal this month, but it may take all month, okay? That may linger a little bit until October, though I don't see that as really being too likely for the majority of you that applies to. Some really good and trustworthy love here for those of you who are single. But also, before you're trying to call in new love that is trustworthy, especially if you know that you have trust issues, you're going to want to be working on that before you try to call in new love. Because I do see for some of you, you may call in a really solid partner, but if you can't get past this trust issue or some old lingering karma, it's like an experience you've had with an ex that you haven't all the way healed from, it just feels a little triggering. Like a new relationship may trigger some old insecurity that you had in an old relationship. The new person may not stick around, okay? Because it's not really of their highest good to stick around unless you're all the way ready. Crowning your reading is let your friends help you. Some of your friends may be helping you navigate emotional issues. You may be talking to friends who have gone through divorces and separations and have children, so they can help you navigate how to speak to your kids about that. But I just see you being social. I see this being that playful energy, that child energy. You need to be out with friends. You need to be out having fun with romantic partners that feel like friends, okay? Deep friendships, deep conversation is going to be a theme for you this month, Aquarius. It probably doesn't shock you, but it's coming up. Okay, we have chemistry at the bottom of the deck. It does feel like committed partners have a whole lot of chemistry here, okay, very much intact, but having these conversations of depth and helping one another heal through something, it's going to deepen this bond. It just deepens it. It's natural, okay? Also a lot of chemistry in new relationships. So I think you guys have an exciting month ahead. But it does feel like there's a lot on your plate. So if you feel like you need more clarity than this, reach out to me. I am available for private readings. I am available for energy work if you feel like you need it. Please start with your sea salt baths. For some of you, that's it. For some of you, that's all you're going to need, okay? But if you feel like you need something more than just sea salt baths, reach out to me. I can help you. We'll get some distance energy healing done. But in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love, like gratitude. I'll see you back mid-month for your love reading. See you soon, Aquarius. Ciao.